I lived in a small space before. I was planning on moving into a van, so ironically the thought of this tiny home was like, oh my God, that's so much more space than a van. And with the shed out back, I can have all my gear, and that was the big appeal too. Like, I have all my gear, I have this house, it's enough space for me and my pets, and it's on wheels, so if I do someday come into money and get land, I could wheel my house onto the land, so that's pretty cool too. It gives me a lot of freedom, and I'm paying into something that's mine, which feels a little less scary in this housing market. Maybe a little bit closer to having something, you know, like more tangible and a piece of property. Hi, my name is Ericka. This is my tiny home located in Island Cove in Durango, Colorado. I've been living in my tiny house for about a year and a half now. It was built by Jacob Smith, who used to work for a tiny builder here in town and built it for himself. It is 20 by 8 feet. I'm parked at Island Cove. I pay about $6.95 in my lot fees. So outside my house, I have a deck, and then we also have a shed in the back and just kind of a little side yard area. Having a shed has been really wonderful. It almost doubles my footprint, and I can store all of my big gear so I can continue to do all the things I love to do. So let's take a look at the inside. Welcome to my tiny home. It's about 160 square feet. I was fortunate enough, my friend's a real estate agent, and she was able to connect me with the woman who was selling this place. So we were able to just do it between the two of us, which made it really smooth and an easy process. The thing I love about this is it's just got the one loft, which leaves it nice and open on the other side, which makes me feel like it's a little bit bigger. Right now I'm standing in my living room. And one of the things that I love is that this couch actually will fold down into a full-size bed. It's a little bit hard right now because I brought this cedar chest in here, but this piece has been in my family for a while, and I really like it because I can put extra blankets, extra bedding in here, and it also provides extra seating. And then I found this turns into a chair, but then it folds into a stool, and I have it as a plant stand right now because my goal is to just keep putting more plants in here. There are so many windows in here, and during the day it's easy to kind of just open stuff up. Summertime I have to keep it closed down a little bit more because of how hot it gets in here, but I think that they definitely seem to be really thriving in here. Especially, this is the first time I've really felt comfortable enough to have a bunch of cacti because they do require a lot of light, and this is kind of the most light I've had in a living situation in a long time. So usually there's a dog bed on here, and so my dog thinks she's a cat. She likes to hang out up here. She loves having her bed up high. I'll flop out here. My cat's either back here on the back of this, or he actually has a little tunnel back there that he hides in. So if I'm sitting on the couch reading, listening to records, my dog's usually right here. My cat's usually just like right on my stomach. So it's just kind of really nice to have this space. Over here on this side of the living room area, I have my record player, my records, the ones that I decided I wanted to keep. I have a much larger collection, but it's a tiny home, so I put what I can fit in here. This is my cat feeding area, which I had to put little stickies on it because he can push it over otherwise. He's on a diet, so he's not very happy about that. I'm from the Southwest area. I grew up in Dolores. I actually was born here in Durango, and it's kind of funny, from my bedroom window I look across the river to the exact location that I was born, which feels a little surreal. But did my undergraduate here in Durango at Fort Lewis College, was an English teacher for about 5.5 years, taught in Carbondale, Colorado, and then Bogota, Colombia for almost 3 years. Wasn't sure if I wanted to keep teaching, and then COVID kind of pushed me into higher education, and now I'm getting my master's in mental health counseling. Rock climbing is kind of one of my biggest passions, getting outside, the river when it's river season. Yeah, just kind of your typical Colorado stuff. I've moved around a lot. I've had a lot of living situations. Smallest place I lived was a train caboose. It was a little bit smaller than the house that I'm in right now, where I could literally reach my shower on one end and I could reach like where I could boil my coffee on the other end. And so that was really cool. So I always knew that I wanted to move back into some sort of small living space. I was building out a van, thinking I was going to be moving to Wyoming for grad school, and then I didn't have to. So the van's still in process, you know, but I am very happy to be here because, yeah, before this, I had been living in the same one-bedroom apartment in a duplex for almost 5 years, and I really enjoyed my landlords, but I moved out of that situation. And then I tried to find a spot in Durango again. It was like, oh my God, how am I going to be able to afford this? And I tried to do the roommate thing, but after living alone for almost 8 years, it was really difficult to live with roommates. And my friend was like, well, why don't you buy a tiny home? I was like, how on earth am I going to buy a tiny home? I can't even buy a house. And she was right. I was able to kind of figure out with what I had saved up and a personal loan, I was able to kind of make the payments fit what the lot fees were here. And there's absolutely no way I could have lived in Durango otherwise. Like, I would have had to move on, which is really sad to think about. One interesting thing that happened a couple of months after I moved in, I walked into the house late at night and there was about an inch of water everywhere and thought we were able to salvage it, but 5 days later, I had to tear everything out and rebuild everything from scratch. I had to replace the floor, the cabinets, redo the water lines, rewire, and redo a lot of the propane. It was a really stressful process, but at the end of it, like, I got to spend a lot of time with my cousin who came down to help me. So that was really nice. And I learned a lot of stuff. So when I go to build out my van, I have all of these new skills. And now we're going to kind of move more into the middle of the house. This fridge I just actually got in December. Before, there was a little desk here. My fridge was actually a little mini fridge that was right here. I love to cook, so I really needed more space for food. So I was able to kind of do away with the desk, get this fridge here, and then I made this more of my work area. So this is an old TV my brother got when we graduated from high school. So this is a 2009 flat screen that I use as my computer screen. And I really like this concrete countertop. It's very heavy, but I just like how it's pretty stain resistant and it stays nice and cool. My cat also really likes that about it. I love how big this sink is. It's really nice to kind of not just utilize for doing dishes, but I can wash bigger stuff in here. I've washed my sleeping bag in here, which was really obnoxious. But then I found this, and it fits absolutely perfectly as a drying rack. So it keeps the counter space available for me, and it's really easy to fold up and just put to the side. And then, yeah, just kind of this bigger L shape gives me a lot more room to work with when I'm doing a lot of my like cutting and stuff like that for kitchen stuff. I haven't actually owned a microwave before. So this is my first microwave. I still haven't been using it very much, but it's been a really nice place to put more plants. I have an air fryer down below my desk area, and then here I have an Instant Pot, which I'm still learning how to use, but I'm really excited to keep working with it. It's been really great for just dried beans, green chili, things like that. It also works as a crock pot, which is awesome. This stove is a propane stove, and right now it only has 2 settings, really high and off. I tried a little bit when I was doing the remodel to fix that, but I think the stove just do what the stove's gonna do. All of these cabinets, they're pretty similar to what was already here, but these are all new cabinetry. And the thing that I like is this Lazy Susan. The other one was kind of plastic, a little bit harder to like put as much stuff in there. These metal baskets make it a lot easier to kind of get into where my hot water heater is. And it gives me a lot more room in there to just sort of put stuff, which I really like. I've never had very much. I think I've maybe added like 2 plates to my collection since being here. I'm usually like a 1 plate, 1 fork, 1 spoon kind of girl. So this might be the most dishes I've had. But yeah, and the dream is I've got a bunch of Mexican tiles to put here. So that's the next big project I'm really excited about.
I wasn't expecting anyone. Ah, it's our neighbor Tom bringing us some fresh eggs. Thanks again, VistaCam 360. At our rural tiny homestead, we don't get many visitors, so it can be really surprising when someone randomly shows up. Now, the Tapo app notifies me when there's activity. Not only can I check out the crystal clear 4K live feed to see who it is, but the incredible zoom capability means it can easily capture small details like what the person is holding or a license plate number. I love the sweet 360-degree pan and tilt capability. It's head and shoulders above previous generations of home security cameras. So no more blind spots. See how it follows me everywhere? Its AI tracking can accurately detect and follow people, pets, or vehicles. These customizable detection zones reduce false alarms for everyday activities around our property. The solar panel means no worrying about keeping the battery charged. And because there's no wiring, installation is super simple. Stay safe with the Tapo VistaCam 360. See the link in the description to learn more.
And next we will go into the bathroom. So it's a little bit of a small fit. Right here I've got the shower. This is kind of the shower pan setup that I have right now. It was originally metal walls, but when I had to do the remodel, I had to tear out the metal and it was all warped. So this was the thing that I found that could fit, and I haven't decided if I really like it or not. I like that it has storage space, but the idea is to put more trim here. This tile project was a pain in the butt, but I really like how it turned out. Kind of looks like wood, but it's porcelain, which is really nice. And then on this side, I have kind of more my storage area, little baskets. I like the color on these little green guys here. And so it has just all of my basic toiletries that I might need. And then my jewelry, I made this, I think when I was in high school, out of just a picture frame and chicken wire. And of course, more plants. You might have noticed that there's only one sink in my house, and it's in my kitchen. Honestly, I haven't really struggled with that at all. I don't really think as one human being I need more than one sink. And so I also have tons of counter space over by my kitchen sink, so I kind of can just set out everything I need for my routine in the morning and in the evening. Right above me is my loft, which is my bedroom, so let's go there next. This is my bedroom loft, and you'll notice the bed is kind of pushed off to the side. I made that choice because I really wanted more space. This is just kind of a nice area to get ready in the morning, or I have the cat scratching post because this is his domain. The dog kind of stays down there. And there were these two little shelves on either side. I took the one out here and added one up here for, surprise, more plants. I have like a big shelf over here for all my clothes, and I have little baskets that I have all my clothing in to kind of keep it organized, or at least trick myself into thinking that it's organized because I can't really see it. So this is way nicer than the train caboose that I lived in because this is a really comfortable queen size bed, which is actually the largest bed that I've owned. In the train caboose, I had two basically like dorm style mattresses. I'd slide this flat board across the walkway and then flip the mattresses out to make kind of a full size bed. And that's what I would sleep on. And then I'd have to like make my bed and fold it and flip it up every morning just to be able to walk. And so it's really nice that I have a bed that's made that I can crawl into at any time of the day. And it's not directly in my walkway, which is really awesome. It's really wonderful with like both windows open and the cross breeze. You can hear the river from my loft, and that's always been a dream of mine, is to be able to be close to the river and hear it. And so I have it, which is awesome. The cost of my tiny home was $70,000. I had a bit of money kind of saved up, a little bit of help from my parents to kind of get that initial down payment, and then took out a personal loan and was able to kind of figure out payments on the personal loan. I shopped around quite a bit and was able to make it work for what my budget was for rent and utilities. Island Cove has been surprisingly really great. I wasn't so sure because, you know, if you grew up in like the 90s and the early 2000s, there was just kind of a stigma on living in a trailer park. And that's not really what it feels like here. It really feels like mini suburbia. You know, you have all of these cute little houses here. all lined up, and my neighbors are awesome. It's a lot of people my age, which is really cool. I actually have a yard, which I wouldn't have in a lot of the other little tiny home communities. I've noticed that a lot of them are kind of right up against each other, or they're in a parking lot. And so I'm really fortunate that there's foliage. And one of the benefits was about a month ago, the tree next door to me, one of the branches was just sagging from all the rain that we got, and it was right on my house. And I kind of really liked it because I was in a tree, but it was gonna mess with my roof, so I was able to put in a work order and have someone take care of it for me. So that's really nice. Like, I can put in work orders for stuff and it's pretty responsive. But the other side of that is, like, I have to put in work orders if I wanna like stain my house, or if I wanna do work on my deck, or if I wanna add more plants out in front of my house. Like, I have a limit on how many plants, and they have to be in pots, and they can't be in like ugly pots, which can be a little bit restrictive, but the other side of it is, I get it. It's kind of helping maintain the value of the park. Some of the things I enjoy the most about tiny living is that it's so easy to clean this place. Like, it gets dirty so quickly. I have myself and 2 fur demons that bring mud in and dirt and sometimes dead birds. And so it's really tough to keep it clean, but it's really easy to clean it. It takes me probably half an hour to clean it, just like a cursory, just like wipe down all the surfaces and vacuum up all of the fur. So that's really nice. It really also helps keep me from accumulating too much stuff. Living in a place that was bigger for about 5 years, I had a lot of things I didn't need, and I've always been more transient. Like, I always move around a lot more. And I was just appalled at how much stuff I had accumulated. It was just like, what is the purpose of half of these things? So it's been really nice to kind of cull all of that down again.
Thanks for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian, and this is our DIY tiny house on our homestead in Oregon.
Looking for more tiny inspiration? Watch these videos. But if you're looking for something specific, visit our channel homepage to browse tiny homes by category.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Hope to see you soon.